State regime media known as Fox was panicking live on air last night as Americans are enraged at the desecration that Donald Trump is causing to the White House while the government is shut down. Americans clearly blame Donald Trump for the government shutdown. Americans are furious that Donald Trump is giving $40 billion to Argentina while 20 million Americans are about to lose health care. Americans are pissed. So how is Fox trying to deal with this? How is Fox trying to cover it up? Well, you have Fox propagandist Laura Ingraham brings on MAGA Republican Congress member Josh Hawley, and they go, oh yeah, by knocking down the White House and destroying the East Wing, this is how we're owning the libs, they say. And they go, you know what else we should do? Let's roll out all of these monuments and let's just roll out Robert E. Lee monuments and honor the Confederacy. That'll own the libs. That's what they say. Here, play this clip.
And now they're just throwing a fit like they are with the government shutdown and everything else. It's ridiculous, and Trump is doing the right thing. I can't wait to see the ballroom finish.
Well, I think if he really wants to get them completely, just losing their minds, he should have a whole statuary garden and bring back Robert E. Lee to the statuary garden. Right.
Then you have the propagandist Greg Gutfeld on Fox say, the big problem is when you have an allied, slobbering media that does you no favors. When the media just slobbers over you all day, it leaves you as an incompetent, arrogant, entitled fool. And he goes, and that's the problem with the Democratic Party. That's the problem with you and Fox, Gutfeld. You're literally describing yourself, you idiot. Here, play this clip.
An allied, slobbering media does you no favors. It leaves you as an incompetent, arrogant, entitled fool. It's like parents who spoil a child so much that that child has no ambition, doesn't have to do anything, sits on the couch. That's the Democrat Party right now. Sitting on the couch, they don't know how to get up. Meanwhile, Trump, he's like the kid that the parents said, no, you got to work your way through school. When you're 18, you got to get out of the house. So he gets out, he does, and so he has no favors. He's not expecting them, and he goes and he gets it on his own. And what happens? You have one of the greatest presidents you're ever going to see in your lifetime.
Then propagandist Jesse Waters brings on Donald Trump's chief propagandist, Caroline Leavitt. And Leavitt says, we're the ones, Trump and the Republicans, who have fixed health care. The problem with health care is Obamacare. And the fact that the Democrats created the Affordable Care Act is what got us into this problem. No, Caroline, you need to extend the freaking ACA subsidies so people don't lose their health care. Before Obamacare, before the ACA, which you all have worked every year to gut and rip away from Americans, insurance companies could discriminate on the basis of pre-existing conditions. Insurance companies would not cover things. People would die. And the Affordable Care Act certainly has its problems. Personally, I prefer universal health care and taxing rich people more. That's my own view. But we need to make sure we continue the subsidies right now so that millions and millions of Americans aren't kicked off. And we all know that Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans want to kick people off their health care. It's obvious. We know that. We're not stupid, Caroline. Here, play this clip.
And by the way, it's the Democrats who created the broken healthcare system in this country through Obamacare that has led to rising premium and costs. It's this president, President Trump, who is taking on big pharma, who is cutting deals with them, who is working with insurance companies across the board to bring down the cost of healthcare in this country.
Then Caroline Leavitt says, one of the other issues also is that there's so much fake outrage right now about the destruction of the White House. Every president has done this before. They all modernized the buildings. No, Caroline, this has never happened before. We've never had a president demolish the White House, take cranes and bulldozers and knock down an entire wing of the White House without congressional approval. That's never happened before. Here, play this clip.
And I believe there's a lot of fake outrage right now because nearly every single president who has lived in this beautiful White House behind me has made modernizations and renovations of their own. And in fact, Presidents for decades in the modern time have quipped about how they wish they had a larger event space here at the White House that can hold hundreds more people than the current East Room and state dining rooms can.
Then you have Brooke Rollins, who's Donald Trump's agriculture secretary. She goes on Fox and she has to address the fact that Donald Trump said, not only should we bail out Argentina and give them $40 billion, by the way, 20 billion of which were already burning away. The Argentine peso is absolutely crashing right now. But Donald Trump says, you know what we need to do also? We need to buy our beef from Argentina, just totally screwing over American cattle ranchers, just screwing over our own beef supply in the United States. And meanwhile, in Argentina, they have a massive outbreak of the foot and mouth disease, which is potentially could lead to Americans dying from eating their beef. So it would screw our economy even more, screw our ranchers, and kill Americans. So Brooke Rollins, how are you going to respond to that? Here, play this clip.
What about beef from Argentina? Is that a possibility?
Well, the president has mentioned it a couple of times. I think you'll be hearing more about exactly what that looks like. Right now, in America, we consume about 12 million metric tons of beef. 10 million of that we produce here in America, but the 2 million I'm talking about, we've been offshoring. And there's different parts of that, you know, what McDonald's buys in ground beef versus the actual muscle cuts, which is what a lot of Americans, the healthy part of all of this. I mean, here's the other thing that's so exciting for our beef industry is that Bobby Kennedy and my partnership with Making America Healthy Again, a lot of that is going to be moving around the new dietary guidelines around a return to saturated fats and what that means for our protein industry. Beef, chicken, et cetera, poultry, pork is really, really, really encouraging. But having said that, we've got to make sure we've got the production to be able to align with that. So yes, the president has said he's in discussions with Argentina. I think we'll be hearing more about that in the next day or two. But as part of that 12 million metric tons, it will not be very much. Argentina is also facing a foot and mouth disease issue, which we at USDA have to ensure that our livestock industry is secure. And I know you've heard a lot about the screwworm coming up from Mexico. Foot and mouth is a challenge too. So we're on it. We're on the front lines. We're going to ensure our livestock industry is protected. But this is a very nuanced, very complex market, but that we're moving in every potential possible direction to make sure we've got a good future for these ranchers.
So then Fox tries to normalize what's going on in the White House, the ripping to shreds of the Rose Garden, the destruction of the East Wing. So Brett Baer and Harrison Faulkner and all of these propagandists on Fox, they're all like, oh, and the Rose Garden Club. It's so much better than when there was a Rose Garden. The Rose Garden Club is the best. You have music and Donald Trump DJs himself. And then Faulkner, one of the Fox hosts, she's like, wiki, wiki, wiki. No wiki, wiki. Okay. I just want America to be normal. I want Americans to have health care. I want Americans to be able to afford their groceries. I want Americans to be able to afford their rent. No wiki, wiki. Okay. No clubs in the White House for rich Republican oligarchs. No destroying the White House. Stop giving $40 billion to Argentina. Just cut the crap and actually act like adults. Here, play this clip.
Yeah, and listen, this Rose Garden Club is something that the president really wanted to do. And he has the music. He plays the music when he has dinner out there. He's the DJ with the with the iPad. He's got the whole thing. And it's an eclectic mix, as you can
It's all over the board.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Little Elvis,
Elvis, REM, Phantom of the Opera, Cats. He's been known to go all over the place with it.
So I remember when I saw this ad on Instagram for the perfect jean making some extreme claims. The most comfortable jeans ever, fits your body perfectly, stretches for days. Yeah, okay. But my old jeans were driving me nuts, so I decided to try them out. I got them fast, threw them on, and my God, I was shocked at how in love I was. These jeans were soft, stretchy, and fit perfectly. No more sucking in the gut during the button zipper battle, no more chafing. I'm usually tough to fit, but they've got waists from 26 to 50 and lengths from 26 to 38. I tried 2 sizes, one was perfect, and exchanging the other was super easy right on their site. The stretch even helps you look your best, and I've definitely gotten compliments. Oh, and their tees, Buttery soft organic cotton, perfectly cut to make your arms and chest look great, and just enough stretch for everything from podcasting to chasing the dog around. It's finally time to stop crushing your parts in uncomfortable jeans by going to theperfectjean.nyc. Our listeners get 15% off your first order, plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use code MeidasTouch at checkout. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with promo code MEIDAS15. MEIDAS15. After you purchase, they will ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you.
Then Lara Trump's like, you know what? My favorite thing that I love to see are the beautiful umbrellas that we brought from Mar-a-Lago to the White House. Everybody loves them. I mean, as Americans are suffering right now, you're talking about Mar-a-Lago umbrellas at the White House. You're talking about golden ballrooms, UFC fights at the White House. You're talking about what Donald Trump talking about? Triumphal arches. He wants to build a Trump Day Arc for himself in Washington, D.C. Like, what the hell are we doing here? As Donald Trump's approval has plummeted to like the lowest ever. This guy's not popular. He's detested. He's despised. He's a vile piece of trash. American people hate him, and yet they act like, oh, we're going to build some more ballrooms. What the hell are you talking about? Here's Lara Trump. Let's play it.
And I think it is an incredible thing to see. I also love seeing those beautiful umbrellas there that remind me of the Mar-a-Lago Club and Trump Bedminster. Those are always the best to see. He's really done a great job with that Rose Garden out there as well.
And then Lara Trump's like, and you know what he really loves to do? What does he really love to do, Lara? He loves when his face looks like Elvis's face. What the hell are you talking about? He loves when his face looks like, these Trumps are demented, okay? This is a demented sicko family that's destroying the United States of America. I mean, do you see these sickos? Who behaves like this? And why do we normalize this behavior from these human beings? Who the hell acts like this? Here, play this clip.
He is a big Elvis fan, and my favorite, we talked about it on my show last weekend, is whenever you see the superimposed picture of Donald Trump over Elvis's face, he goes back and forth. I think he likens himself to Elvis. Yeah.
But I think that, like,
one of the greats.
Now, speaking of who the hell acts like this, then you have Don Jr. I'm Don Jr. with the stupid face. Don Jr. then goes out there and says, the state of the Democratic Party is, they're all terrorists. They're all terrorist and violent people. Y'all are pardoning all the January 6th. You pardon all the January 6th insurrectionists, the people who were convicted of like seditious conspiracy. A lot of these J6ers have gone out and committed more crimes. I mean, y'all are literally a crime cartel in plain frickin' view. By the way, what's going on with the Congressmember Gonzalez and the Uvalde Police Department there? Then you've got that other MAGA Republican Congressmember out in Florida. George Santos back in action. Anyway, here's Don Jr. Let's play it.
Watching these people dress up like clowns and they expect to be taken seriously, it's truly laughable, but that is the state of the Democrat Party. They're radical, terrorist, violence-preaching lunatics, and you can see it. Right on the screen now, Sean.
Listen,
no one can describe it any better than just watching them, stupefy themselves.
Going back to Jesse Waters and Caroline Levitt, they say, Caroline Levitt says, Trump was reelected in large part because he's a builder. People wanted him to destroy the White House like this and rebuild it. No one wants you to do it. No one wants a ballroom. It has to go through, by the way, if you wanted to do it, the National Capital Preservation Committee, which it did not go through here at all. You can't it's actually a function of Congress to appropriate funds. We have no transparency of who the hell is funding this thing at all. It's ridiculous. Here, play this clip.
And he is the builder in chief. In large part, he was reelected back to this people's house because he's good at building things. He has done it his entire life, his entire career. And construction is a process at the end. The East Wing, which is an entirely separate structure from the executive mansion you see behind me, will be more modern and beautiful than ever. And then on top of that, the White House is going to have a big, beautiful ballroom for generations of of Americans to come. And the best part of it all, it's not a dime of the taxpayers' money. The president has worked hard to privately fund this entire project from start to finish.
Yeah, they'd be mad if it's donors. They'd be mad if it was taxpayer funded.
That's right.
They're always mad.
Thankfully, you have Jessica Tarlov, a voice of reason on Fox. The only voice of reason. She's great. Here, play this clip.
He was definitely excited by it, though there was some reporting that White House aides did know that the optics of this was really bad, especially because he had said that what he was planning pays total respect to the existing building, which I'm the biggest fan of. That doesn't really look like total respect to the existing building. So I don't know if his construction crew got a little ahead of themselves.
That's what you do. Wait, Jessica, he's working with the White House Historical Preservation Society.
Yeah.
He's not coming in and bombing the place and putting up the Obama Presidential Library, which is ghastly.
Listen.
Have you seen that thing? It's a monstrosity.
Okay,
at least Trump has taste.
And come on, listen. I understand that Mar-a-Lago is allegedly the height of style and panache and glitz and glam, but he turned the Rose Garden into a patio that looks like you should have chicken tenders and fries on it.
Have you been there?
And now I can see.
No, but
I
you've
have
never
not
been there,
invited.
so you have no idea.
Okay.
When I'm president, I'll have
What's wrong with chicken tenders?
I enjoy chicken tenders. I have a 3-year-old. I'm just saying that the Rose Garden looked better before, and should we have a bigger ballroom? Maybe, but he wasn't supposed to do this, and he said that he wouldn't. But the big problem is that it's being funded by Donald Trump and also donors, some of the names we know, some which we don't. And Donald Trump has been profiting off of the presidency, left, right, and center. His kids do it too, with these deals all over the world.
How's he profiting from that?
Well, he's gotten... Well,
it's for the White House.
You don't know what kind of influence he's selling by having people come there. That's what happens at Mar-a-Lago too. It happened at Trump International.
So he should have taxpayers pay for it.
Yes. The crypto. No, he shouldn't do it. Or
then he can't do it. Just say he doesn't. Just say he don't want it.
You don't like it no matter what he does, Jessica.
More from propagandist Jesse Waters, who says, the Democrats are upset because Trump is so unconstrained right now and nothing they can do to check his power. Well, we had 7 million Americans peacefully protest, number one. Number two, you're right in the sense that Republicans control the House and Republicans control the Senate right now. Democrats are standing up against the Republicans in the House and the Senate, but you would expect that co-equal branches of government would want to act like co-equals, except when it comes to the MAGA Republican sycophants, they've given up what their actual job is as MAGA Republican, these Congress members and these senators just doing whatever the hell that Donald Trump wants. As our country's getting weaker every day, weaker on foreign policy, weaker here domestically, our economy is absolutely in a spiral, but we don't report the numbers because the Bureau of Labor Statistics no longer provides job numbers, inflation numbers, or any data at all. Our stock market's one gigantic Ponzi scheme as Donald Trump claims that he's brought in $20 trillion, which is entirely false. Play this clip of Jesse Waters.
The Democrats are upset because Trump is so unconstrained and he's so ambitious and he's wielding executive power so confidently. And none of their presidents ever did. And nothing they can do can check his power. They feel like they've squandered the opportunity in the executive office to do grand things, to make peace deals, to redo the World Trade Order. And they're looking at a guy who they thought was just like a pockmark in history, come back and be a consequential president. And he's so consequential, he's leaving a symbolic and physical legacy right there on the footprint of the most hallowed grounds in Washington, D.C., and they can't wrap their head around it.
More from Don Jr. right here. Play this clip.
When I watched the protest this weekend, though, it was sort of funny because they're clearly not sending their best or their brightest. And maybe that's because they don't have anyone that's bright or good at anything that they do.
Here we have Caroline Levitt saying, we're actually the most transparent that there is. Here, play this clip.
And I will just add, when you talk to the real journalists, not the ones who are actually activists that pose as journalists, but the people who actually care about truth, and there are some of those left in the White House press corps, I work with them every day, they will tell you the Trump White House is the most accessible and transparent White House ever. Not only does the president take questions from the press on a near daily basis, multiple times per day, as he did today, but we also provide truthful and accurate information about what this administration is doing and accomplishing. And it's a stark contrast to what they had over the past 4 years, where they were gaslit.
And then Greg Gutfeld says, but the real thing we need to focus on is the following. Under Biden, the government invaded your bedroom. The government was in your bedroom. Play this clip.
When you have bureaucrats, and it's funny to see the same people who are marching against no kings, fighting for a ever-increasing government, especially one that tells you how to behave. I mean, under Biden, we actually had a government that invaded your bedroom, invaded your family's bedrooms, invaded your children's locker rooms. You can't get more unessential and intrusive than that.
I mean, the government wasn't in my bedroom. I don't. What does that even mean? You don't like gay people? Are you trying to say you don't like gay people? You don't like trans people? What else don't you like, Greg? What is it that you're actually trying to say right there? Because right now, the government is actually invading. Not your made up MAGA weirdo conspiracies. Right now, the freaking government, the military, is invading cities right now. Actually invading bedrooms. Literally, like in Chicago, Black Hawk helicopters, people going into apartments with children naked, making them march out. Naked, making people handcuffed, chained. That's actually happening. The government literally with weapons, missile launchers, serious weaponry all over. Hell is going on? Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.